Dun 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 dun
Woo!
dun 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 dun.
We're terrible. Welcome back. This is another episode of Dr. Hootis. I am your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me is Adele, Timey-wimey tubes touched.
Jesus.
And Josh the Little Gru.
Hey everybody.
So this week we're looking at Season 1, Episode 2, End of the World. So let's jump in, and I want just some overarching initial thoughts. Josh.
You're going to me again. Thank you. No, it's good. I really enjoy the episode. I like how they jump into the deep end, and they're not pulling much punches. I do like it. That's my overall arching thoughts.
All right. And Adele, overall thoughts on End of the World.
I have a lot of thoughts.
I'll start spilling.
Well, there was the tree lady and the trampoline lady and the iPod and the giant face person. Like, there was just a lot. I
iPod
forgot.
is great. I love the iPod.
It was good.
The musical selections for this episode were fantastic.
I think it was I think it was good. Yep.
I'm actually not going to lie. Hearing Britney Spears' "Toxic" kind of took me back to my PlayStation 2 Beat Mania days, because that was on there, and it was actually a great song to play on Beat Mania. So
yes, it was.
I was watching it, literally thinking, man, I need to find a copy of that again, because now I really want to play that. There was some good stuff on there. But yeah. No, that and Tainted Love, which actually I was out at karaoke last weekend, and I did Tainted Love for karaoke last weekend.
Really?
It happened.
I forget you do karaoke.
Is there
I'm judging you.
Is there video of that, Larry?
There is not.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I don't hide it. It's just nobody.
No, I hear you.
So.
I mean, so Adele, I am curious. What are your overall thoughts on the episode?
It was good. It was out there compared to the first episode. It was definitely a lot more sci-fi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's future set this time as opposed to present day-ish.
Right.
So, and that makes a big difference. I like that this is the first time that you start getting real clues about or the first mention that the Doctor is the last Time Lord, because coming off of Classic Who, that was very much not the case.
Right.
Time Lords everywhere.
Exactly. They were all over the place. They were altering history.
Mm-hmm. Fucking all kinds of shit up.
Right.
But now they're all gone. And, you get the first bits of story of what happened to them. I mean, by no means everything, but, at least an inkling of what happened. It was I thought Jade was a wonderful character, and again, just sad to see her go at the end. I also really like the Eccleston's portrayal of the Doctor, just the whole, you know what, people died, I'm pissed, fuck you.
Right. I personally enjoyed the real human quality he had. And even when he the single tear, after she found out who he was and what he was.
Yeah.
And it was a really good. I mean, for me, it was really good. And I'm coming off of not watching any of this new Who except the first episode. Mm-hmm. So I'm really thrown by this. I mean, this was, for me, I'm like, why didn't I watch it sooner? I mean, really. I mean, for me, this is it. This is good.
So, Adele, I feel like you're going to chime in here, that you have to have thoughts on this. Can we talk about how beautifully corny the death scene of the steward was? That whole back in the chair. No, no, no.
I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the tree lady saying that she was the, oh, I'm part of the Amazon rainforest.
Descended
Oh,
from the Amazon.
the fuck was that shit? Like, the stupidest shit sticks out to me, I swear.
Well, maybe we should just go over the episode real quick so people know what we're talking. I mean, if they haven't, I'm sure they've watched it, but what the episode entails so that they kind of have a context where we're talking from.
Hit it.
So, this episode, it's called The End of the World, and the doctor asked Rose, where does she want to go? And she said, you want to go to the past or the future? She says the future. So he starts out, like 100 years?
Yep.
And she's like, you go out that door of the TARDIS and you're gonna see this and that. And she's like, no, really impress me. So go out, 1,000 or whatever it is. And he's like, you're gonna see the new Roman Empire. And she's like,
10,000 years in the future.
Yeah, 10,000 years.
12,005.
Yeah. She's like, no. So he's like, okay. So then he goes 5 billion years into the future, to the death of the basically when the star turns into a red giant, or not a red giant, but close
enough. The sun
enough.
expands. Yeah.
Yeah, this expansion of the sun. So it encompasses the Earth. So, they start out with that, and so that's where they are. They just walk out of the TARDIS, and they're on this platform, this observatory platform, that is supposed to be watching this, and people are watching it for like a sport or a spectacle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally just an artistic event.
Right. They don't even really care, and I guess they were holding back the expansion with their technology until the money ran out, and when the money ran out and there's no one left on the planet, they're like, oh, there's no one left, but there's these people here to watch it, and there's all the descendants of example, a tree or whatever, that they've evolution has kept on going, basically.
Right. All the humans have left, but they've spread out amongst the stars, and
right.
So you have big rich financial players throughout the universe coming to watch this. It was the Forest of Cheem for the trees, the Mox of Balhoun, the Face of Bo,
the Last Human.
Yep, the Lady Cassandra.
And then they get into that whole thing.
Trampoline, yeah.
Well, yeah, she's really not the last human, but she's the last quote unquote pure human.
Yeah.
And she's kind of a racist.
Oh, most definitely. Jesus Christ. The stuff that came out of her was just whoo. So
probably my favorite character, though. Favorite character of the episode. Just because there's so much I can make fun of.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, too, if you do some digging, you will find that there is an actual officially licensed Doctor Who toy of the Lady Cassandra.
Really?
It's just the frame after she exploded.
Now, did you catch that when she said, when I was a boy?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I did.
All right.
Yep.
I'm figuring you guys did. I mean, I was just like, whatever. I mean,
yep.
It's 2019. We can do whatever we want now, so.
What year did this come out? Like 2005?
2005, yep.
Yeah.
Pretty progressive for 2005.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know if it's trying to be progressive, but it was I'm sure it is in a certain point, but it's more because you're identifying with this character as a female, and they're just well, look, I wasn't born that way.
Right.
And then with all the stuff I've ever had done to me, the flattening was the last thing, and chin operation, and it's just very interesting.
She was gonna get her. She was going in to get her blood bleached.
Yeah. Yeah.
God. Ugh.
So, but yeah, that's so that's the premise here, and the big crux of the episode comes in that somebody's trying to kill everybody on board the observation platform.
Right.
And it ends up being the lady Cassandra, and she ends up getting her comeuppance as the doctor literally sits there and watches her dry out and fucking explode. So, he lost a friend with Jane dying, and then walks back in the room and basically says, "Fuck you." That's just a phenomenal delivery on that line from Eccleston too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everything has its time and everything dies.
So let's just back up a little bit, Larry. I want to talk about Rose and her freak out.
Uh-huh.
So let's talk about like how she kind of just freaks out because she's doesn't know who the doctor is. She's like, I'm with somebody in the future. Basically, I have no idea who he is. He could be a total creeper.
Yep.
And I mean, I don't know. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on that? Adele, what are your thoughts on that?
I think she was kind of on edge the whole episode, specifically after the gift giving, when she starts kind of wandering around. I feel like she started to freak out, and then it really hit when she got stuck in that room.
Right.
And I feel like that's when it really hit, and I don't think she ever came back from that, and it just kept escalating.
Well,
which I mean, you're stuck in the future. You might fucking die. Nobody knows where you're at. You can't call your mom. You can't, call your boyfriend.
Well, yeah.
Well,
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that, but not yet.
Right.
Not yet. That's what she's thinking. She's like, man, I'm gonna die, and nobody knows what happened to me.
And nobody knows. Yeah, I'm just another.
Who is this dude that I'm with? What is he doing? What did he put me? What situation did he put me into? Like, what did I do?
Right.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, is she finally had a minute to actually like sit down and kind of stop, and at that point, the gravity of the choice that she made to just up and finally caught up with her in that instant.
Yep, it hit her. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a big realization all of a sudden. So, but yeah, I mean that doesn't particularly surprise me.
No.
I will say it's rightfully disconcerting that he gets a little dodgy about answering questions. Who are you? Where are you from?
I don't know, though. I personally, I think that is kind of his character.
It is, but I mean, to anybody else who doesn't know that, that's going to be reasonably off-putting.
Okay.
Especially given the situation she's in and the realization she's just had. So. But. Oh. So not everybody makes it out alive. A few do.
Right.
Excuse me. What were some of your favorite bits from the episode? What were the standout pieces here?
Go ahead, Adele. You're first.
Yep, you're up.
Oh, okay.
Put you on the spot.
You get first dibs.
Okay, well, like I said, the tree lady really, I give you breath from my lungs.
How intimate.
Yes. Everybody has a gift.
The flirting with Jade and the doctor was kind of great.
I thought it was cringy.
It was cringy, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
He's flirting with a tree.
Yeah.
It's cringy.
So, any other favorite highlights?
I mean, when the lady Cassandra exploded, that was fantastic. That was fantastic.
I personally like the scene where when he was trying to, he was going through and Jade was helping him. He was going through everything. And when she started on fire, and he looks back, and then he just calms himself and is able to focus enough so everything slows down. I like that scene.
Yeah.
I personally really like that. I think that was really good insight into his character, who he was, what he could actually do when he put his mind to it. and he had to be significantly focused to do it.
Yeah. No, the display of an ability or a power there was neat. It's not something, through the history of Doctor Who that you ever really see a whole lot of.
No, that's what I mean. That's why I think it was great. Because for me, I mean, I'm literally coming on this my second episode of this new Who.
Mm-hmm.
So to me to see that is pretty awesome.
Well, I mean, even in classic Who, you really don't see
No,
it.
you don't. You don't
know
see
that
it.
They can do shit, but
right.
they never do, and it's like, why? But
you're just right.
So, but no, like I said, I did like the first real lead in about what happened to the rest of the Time Lords. I think is a pinnacle for me. The music selections were fantastically cheesy, but fit beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, there's no other right song choice for those scenes. It was watching him dance to Tainted Love was amazing. Fucking made my day.
Yeah.
So, and as awful, as she was, Cassandra's kind of, tall tales and fish stories were great. Legend says it had a wingspeed of 50 feet and or wingspan of 50 feet, and it breathes fire. Or that might have been my fifth husband.
Right. Yeah.
Little nuggets
snarky.
like that were fantastic. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
So, oh, let's see what else. There's things I know, but I can't talk about.
Right?
I know.
Yeah. Don't. Yeah. See.
It'll get wibbly wobbly.
I really want to talk about the face of Bo.
It wasn't even that. It's the other thing.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, so. Adele, you and I are taking bets how long it takes Josh to pick up on it this season.
Wait, which thing?
The Easter egg. The lead in to the finale.
Oh.
You know what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This episode is the first time they have one of those clues in there. And it's in every episode. I'm just curious to see how long it takes you to pick up on it as it repeats week over week. So
if it repeats, it won't take me long.
It repeats, but it's.
But I am also, married, and I have been beaten over the head with things many a times and been told that I did not see the signs in front of me. So.
Don't worry. I mean, if you miss it, there's going to be a recap.
Okay.
And they'll show you.
Don't worry, it's okay. I probably will miss it, but if I don't, don't bet on me. That's what I'm saying.
Right. It's one of those that, well, especially in the first episode, because it's not repeated yet. It's just a weird one. But when you know what you're watching for on a repeated playthrough or watch through, you're like,
right.
It's
obvious. Yeah.
It is. It's actually, I think the right description here is that it's obviously subtle.
Okay.
So, but yeah, there's a definite lead in.
So what's your guys' bet, Adele? How long? Until
how many episodes?
I figure out whatever I'm supposed to figure out. I have no clue what you're talking.
Maybe 6.
Okay. So 4 more.
Until episode 6.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably about the right place he'd pick it up. He might.
And I'm not rewatching these episodes either. By the way, I'm not going back and rewatching 1 and 2 and then go forward. I'm just watching them one time. So
that's good. That would be cheating.
Yeah. No, I won't do that to you guys.
He might catch it by episode 4 or 5, since 4 or 5 is a 2-parter.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but I mean, I'm also thinking that he's married, and
Yeah, that's true. A lot of things that just kind of zone out.
Mm-hmm.
Married for a long time. Like,
We'll see.
a long time. So.
I don't know. I'm willing to put in for by 4-5. I think that goes as a single episode though, since it's a two-parter, single story.
Okay.
If I win the
Right.
bet, will you make me tacos?
I may possibly make you tacos.
Yes.
That's a good bet. That's a good bet. It's a win-win for you, Adele.
It is.
Exactly. I mean, if I don't win, I don't get tacos though, and that's pretty sad.
Yeah, but you don't have to give up anything. So it's a win-win.
Not
That
yet. I'm
No, not
considering
yet.
My terms.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's gonna
no,
win,
terms
so
and conditions. I probably am.
yeah. Now they know the terms, I could, massage it so you win.
Oh yeah. He's on my side. I like him.
So,
You know,
So-
I will say I forgot how much of season 1 builds into the show. Like there is so much that is so important in these first episodes. Two different storylines. Like there are so many different storylines that are starting. It's got me all excited.
I think
I'm
that's
so
part of the reason
excited.
I'm excited for it, because I don't know what these storylines are, but I'm seeing all this just start, and I'm like, you know what, this is awesome.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm getting my wife. I could bring her in here one night, just have her talk to you guys, because she goes, you talk about this all the time. I talk about it way more than it needs to be talked about. I'll put it that way.
There's no such thing as talking about Doctor Who too much.
That's why I tried telling her, but it's not going to work.
You just get her to start watching with you.
I think she's going to watch the first 2 episodes and
Good.
kind of catch up.
I had a friend of mine that for years I told him, dude, you got to check this out. You got to watch it. You're gonna love this. And he grumped and bitched and moaned for years until I actually he was over one day and I sat him down and here, watch an episode. He's like, fuck you. Now I have to go home and watch it all.
I think part of the problem with today, I mean, just in general with consumption of media, is that we feel a need that if it's not something we like right away, or something that's totally awesome, that we have to keep going with it. Or if it is something that we like right away, that we have to binge the whole thing instantly.
Mm-hmm.
And I really feel that this part of the awesomeness of this show is that we're doing it 1 episode a week, period.
Oh, yeah.
We have 7 days to do this, so let's just, do it old school.
I specifically kind of consider that, because I remember years, certain seasons watching, from week to week, going, the fuck happens next?
Right.
What the hell was that part?
It's like when you were a kid, when you watch a show and in the summer it went away and it wasn't there. Yeah, exactly. I love it.
So, no,
See,
I
I'm
like.
too young for that. I'm too young for that. But I do
Right.
remember watching through Doctor Who on Netflix and hitting the end of a season and having to wait a whole nother year for them to update it so that I could watch it again. I feel like it's similar and in some ways worse.
Oh no,
I don't know.
I mean, just imagine at the end of hitting the end of certain episodes and having to wait a week and being just enveloped for a week on
or worse,
Facebook and the internet, all the speculation and the guesses around certain
you're talking about Facebook and internet. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's way too late for me. I'm talking about watching Star Trek Next Generation, and there was an episode where it would stop. Oh, but next week, guess what? It's not a new episode. It's a repeat.
Right.
So now I got to wait 2 weeks. Oh, guess what? Next week comes and it's another repeat. So I've got 2 weeks. That's when you learned about what sweeps were. Do you understand? You probably have no idea what I'm talking about when I say sweeps. Larry, do you know what I'm talking about?
I know sweeps.
February and June. So we're sweeps month, where they put all the new episodes because they wanted you to watch, and then they would determine their ad revenue for the whole year based on those 2 months. So
What?
yeah, so for example, you were watching a show, and in February, like January would come, the holidays would come. There would always be repeats on the holidays. We would never get new episodes because no one was watching. So, like, let's say like February 1st come around, you get a brand new episode of your favorite TV show. The next week, another new episode. They're trying to get you to watch it, and then they determine how much they charge ad revenue for the whole year based on just like a few weeks.
Hmm.
So they could, if they could, they didn't have like today where they could tell how many people were watching.
Right.
Right. So they had to know, like, oh, we got 12 million people watching this, so we're going to charge you this much for ads.
Oh yeah.
For the whole year.
The original, arrangement of like the Nielsen rating system.
Yes.
I remember reading about that in school.
Yep.
Yeah. It's real.
Oh.
The real thing.
Oh.
But I used to love that. I mean, I'll get real nerdy. I used to like record all new episodes of shows I liked on VHS tapes. I record them. I even typed them into a word processor, like the episode title, where it started and where it stopped. And I recorded them in SLP on my VHS because I got 6 hours on that at that point.
Oh, yeah.
So this was what I would do with this show. I would have recorded this show, but, back in the day. But now you just wait for it comes on Netflix or Prime or whatever you have.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, I will say too, it does still, obviously when new season's on, it does still air, one a week for 13 episodes.
Right.
And
you
can catch it on, and that's another thing too, is for quite a while, for the first 4 or 5 years, maybe even 6, the America was about a year behind on Doctor Who, from BBC. It wasn't until the Matt Smith era, somewhere around season 5 or 6, that they synced up and they actually started releasing episodes day and date on BBC and BBC America at the same time. No, actually, I know for a fact it was season 5. Don't ask me how I know that; it's weird, but I know for a fact it was season 5. But the other thing now too is, even if you're not watching it on BBC or BBC America, like the last season that aired, I was keeping up with week over week by way of the BBC America app, because the day after it aired on TV, it was uploaded to the app, and so I was still watching one a week, week over week, and waiting to find out what happened. So. Okay. There's actually a show on Hulu that the first season, they didn't release the full season at once for binge. They actually did the one a week format, and season 2 they did away with that. And I was actually really sad because I really liked that format. It fucking took me back, and it built that suspense and it built that excitement week over week. And I was so sad when season 2 of The Runaways came out and they just dumped the whole season instead of that week over week again. I'm like, oh, you bastards. That was fun.
Right.
I had something to look forward to every week.
They did another show like that, actually, very recently. The Act, they did that.
Okay.
And I mean, yeah, and I was so mad. Let's talk about Natalie, because I told her how good this show was after all the episodes came out. And so I had to wait every Wednesday at night. I would get home and be like, yes, I'm going to watch The Act. And then, and I'm super excited. Natalie just sat there and fucking binged them all and was like, oh, 2 days, 2-3 days later, she's like, oh, Adele, I'm so sad. And I'm just like, fuck you. Fuck you.
Right.
So I really kind of do understand that week-to-week thing. I don't remember it as a child, but now it's kind of becoming a thing again with originals on these streaming platforms.
And that makes me happy that that's coming back around, honestly. It really does.
It is, yeah.
So, there's certain shows that I really appreciate the week over week format for.
Right.
But that being said, let's tie it up for the night. Who's primed and ready to take a trip to the past next week?
Me.
Adele, you excited for a history episode?
I always love the history episodes, but I actually didn't watch the clip for the next week because I want to be surprised. I don't want to be thinking about it.
Okay.
And like, because I ruin it for myself. I really do, because then I see the clip and I'm like, oh yeah, that's that episode where this happened and this happened and this happened. And then like I don't even want to watch it. So I'm skipping the clips for the next week to try and keep myself excited.
Right. Okay. That's fair.
I dig that. I approve. 100%.
I did that with the first episode. When you guys talked about it, I didn't have any clue. So I was like, all right, I'm going to watch it the whole thing this time. And I'm going to say, eh. It made me want to actually push the play button on the third episode, but I'm like, nah, wait. Because I said I would. Yeah, no, I'm not. I won't do it.
Well, y'all just really messed it up for me, because now I think I know which episode it is. And I'm excited, but like at the same time, now I'm thinking about it. I think I know which episode this is.
Was it like the Boar Fest 5000?
No, it's
okay. I think I'm gonna like it no matter what because it's my first time watching it. So
is it the mommy episode? The Are You My Mommy?
No. That's
okay.
That's about 2/3 of the way through the season.
Okay.
That's
good.
That's a two-parter as well. Actually, that's the second two-part of the season.
But I'm excited for that one too.
You're thinking of Empty Child Doctor Dances. So, no, this one is not that.
Wait, so which one is it?
You'll have to find out.
I know, I'm excited.
Next week.
So, all right. Well, I want to say thank you to both Adele and Josh for joining me, and we're going to be, watching through another spectacular and talking about another phenomenal episode of Doctor Who next week, right here on World 101 Podcast Network, here on Doctor Who This. Peace.